Well, Mayor, I know we talked last week, but how are you getting along?
I'm on the mend, Brian. Each day I'm getting stronger. I feel my body is getting stronger each day. Working with my doctors, doing physical therapy, occupational therapy. I'm stronger today than I was a week ago.
Just tell me, obviously we can see some of what happened. Just tell me now that we see you, where did you get stabbed?
Well, on October 20th, my attacker stabbed me twice on my left side in the eye area and cheekbone. Stabbed me once on the left side of my neck, once on the right side of my neck where he punctured my trachea. And then I was, looked like he might have stepped on me and I had some bruising to my leg.
Looking at all this, what's the road ahead look like for you?
A lot of doctor's appointments, making sure that I heal properly. We expect I'll make a full recovery barring any setbacks. My vision obviously is not 100%, far from 100%. But in speaking with my doctors, as long as there's no setbacks and I continue to heal and get rest, we expect a full recovery hopefully by the end of the year.
I know we talked about it already on that day. Did you even see this guy?
I never saw him coming, Brian. It was an attack from behind, unprovoked. I never met him before that. I never seen his face before that. I was in total shock when he struck me from behind.
And I mean, what did it feel like at the start? Did you know you were being stabbed, or did you think somebody had jumped on you?
I did not know I was being stabbed. I thought I was being punched, but the punches were hurting, and I noticed I was bleeding a lot. I lost about 3 pints of blood throughout the entire process. It wasn't until the attack stopped and I started talking with the senior citizens who were not that far away that I came to the realization that I was stabbed and it was severe.
And then what happened from there? I mean, all kinds of things going through your mind, or was it all kind of going blank at that point?
The adrenaline was starting to flee my body and starting to feel a little woozy. The senior citizens were giving me napkins that I was able to stick in my wounds to help stop the bleeding. But they convinced me to dial 911 because I was probably going to walk back to my store and seek help there because it was a safe place for me. I don't think I ever would have made that walk. I probably would have bled out on the way there. But I made the decision to stay with the senior citizens, dial 911, and wait for rescue.
And you credited the decision to go to St. Luke's in New Bedford with saving your life, making a big difference.
Everybody played a role. It was almost like a tabletop exercise where the senior citizens helping me, dialing 911, EMTs being on scene right away, and then making the decision to go to St. Luke's. If you make the decision to go anywhere else, I probably don't make it given the amount of blood I lost. However, St. Luke's is a trauma center, and I credit them with saving my life. Yeah,
when you think about it now, when you said you think maybe it could have changed depending on just a small number of things, what do you think about when you look in the mirror, when you think back to what happened and you see the physical damage and what happened? What do you think today?
It's a miracle. In speaking with my doctors, it was a matter of seconds. I lost a lot of blood. Even being on the ventilator, I suffered a heart attack, I was told. So it was touch and go for a while there. As I sit here and talk to you today, I feel I get stronger each day. But while I was on life support, it could have turned on a dime very quickly.
Were you aware, from the start, kind of what was happening? Or were you in the hospital, or were you not so much? Did it take a few days?
I never lost consciousness, and I was aware throughout the whole process. I was induced into a coma when I was put on life support. However, I woke up, and once I was alert, I stayed alert.
You've talked about the person who stabbed you before. What are your thoughts on what should happen with him and your thoughts about him?
God wants me to forgive my attacker, and I do. I do forgive him. However, he is a dangerous man and cannot be on the streets. People like Corey Gonzalez being on the streets make this world a dangerous place. He is mentally unstable, and he is a vicious and dangerous person, and he needs to be in some type of mental institution getting the help he needs.
And as for you, any thought now is when you might get back to work and at the dispensary? Is that basically where you spend most of your time, full-time work?
Yeah, I'm an attorney by trade. I own Cosmopolitan Dispensary where I'm the CEO. A lot of my time is spent there overseeing the operations as the chief executive officer. However, speaking with my medical team, our goal and hope is by Christmas to be back on my feet, resuming a independent life.
What is it like now? Is it stiff? Is it just tough to walk around? Everything's sore?
Lost a lot of muscle mass being on a ventilator for a week. The injuries are painful. Some days the pain shoots to a 10 on the scale. So I'm coping with pain and just trying to get my health and energy back.
Yeah. How's it going? I think you have some people helping you out.
I'm blessed to have a strong family with me, from my family to my friends to people who didn't even know me to strangers. I think every whisper, every prayer was heard by God, and that's why I'm here today. And the amount of people who had checked in on me on social media or sent me a card or a phone call, I'm completely overwhelmed. And while I was in the hospital, it literally brought me to tears.
Yeah. Have you been able to get out much other than going to the doctor, or at this point is pretty much just resting?
Resting in doctors, yeah.
Anything else you want to say? You want people to know?
Yeah, I think there has to be a change in policy. Can we talk about that?
Sure.
At one point in America, you had institutions where people who were mentally ill or dangerous, you had a hospital for them to go to. In the 80s and 90s, those hospitals were closed. I really do believe government has to focus on opening up institutions for people who are mentally ill and or dangerous, so the ERs are not overcrowded, the courts are not overcrowded, people who are homeless. And if you had institutions like that open today, maybe I'm not getting attacked on October 20th.
The former mayor and you kind of thinking about what could have and should be done?
Yes. The funding has to be put towards mental health and getting these hospitals reopened. I know there's cons associated with them, and those cons were exposed in the 80s and 90s, but there's a lot of pros associated with them too, because you have people like my attacker who their family can't handle them. The court system releases them to the streets, and here they are just being homeless, roaming the streets of Fall River with a dangerous weapon looking to attack people. I think about the girl on the train who was stabbed and bled to death. I think about the countless attacks we see on the news or read about in the newspapers or hear on radio or see on social media. The streets of America are unsafe, and they shouldn't be. People are committing random crimes, and innocent people are getting hurt. One of the worst types of crimes you can have is when an innocent person gets attacked, and that's what we had here.
Looking back at your social media, you do regular posts where you're pretty jovial and happy-go-lucky or stuff like that. Do you feel like this is going to change you at all, or do you say you were always out and about in Fall River? Right. Do you expect anything to change, or?
My mind is strong. Will I be more aware of my surroundings going forward? 100%. Am I at the point where I can sing and dance again? No. My goal is to be there by Christmas, to be stronger than ever, to be a better me, and to be there for my family.